Hello everybody, my name is Rachel and welcome to my channel Kalanati. Today I bring you more anticipated releases of 2016. At the beginning of the year I did a two-part video where I talked about all the books from 2016 that I was really looking forward to, but at the beginning of the year there were a lot of books that weren't announced yet or didn't have solid release dates for the end of the year. So I am back mid-year to tell you about everything I am expecting from here until December, and there are some really good ones coming out, guys. First, on June 7th, Mary Roach's next humorous nonfiction popular science book is coming out. It is called Grunt, The Curious Science of Humans at War, and the description on Goodreads says that it's about the science behind the most challenging adversaries that soldiers face at war, things like heat and exhaustion, and what scientists are doing about those things. Roach takes the more humorous approach to the sometimes difficult, awkward, or controversial topics and the science behind them. Things like sex research, super weird, super awkward in Boink, or what happens to your body after you die in Stiff. I only discovered that it was coming out a couple weeks ago, but I already have it pre-ordered on Audible and I can't wait. On September 6th, an anthology of classic science fiction stories by women is coming out. It's called Women of Futures Past and it is edited by Kathryn Rusch. I came across this one because Kathryn Rusch was on the Coode Street podcast and she discussed the project that led her to do this collection. It's bringing together those lost and overlooked foundational and important short story works in science fiction by women, which is totally up my alley considering that I pay special attention to women writing science fiction. This anthology has a really great list of heavy hitters in it. People like Lois McMaster Bujold, Lee Brackett, Pat Cadigan, CJ Cherry, Anne McCaffrey, Nancy Kress, Ursula K. Le Guin. You guys know I love Ursula K. Le Guin. Andre Norton, James Tiptree Jr., and Connie Willis, which is like a list of some of my absolute favorite women in science fiction ever, so I'm so looking forward to this one. I'm a huge fan of Alan Bradley's Flavia de Luce mystery series. It is set in the 1950s in England. It follows an 11 or 12-year-old girl, Flavia, as she investigates murders and plays at being a detective. She's pretty good at it. She's also really into poisons and chemistry. I love this series, and I was initially disappointed at the beginning of the year when I thought that the next book, the 8th book, was coming out in 2017. But no! I'm on his mailing list, the cover art was revealed, and it said, hey, it's coming out in 2016. It's coming out on September 20th. And the title is Thrice the Branded Cat hath Mew'd, which I love the titles of the books in this series, guys. I totally love them. The only thing I'm disappointed about is that they changed the cover art style. So it means that this new one isn't gonna match the previous 7 I've bought in paperback. Why you do this to me? Another great one is coming out in September on the 27th. The second book in the Luna duology by McDonald is coming out. It is called Wolf Moon. The first book is called New Moon. I read it not that long ago. I was blown away. It was fantastic. The series has been described as Godfather in space. It is totally Godfather in space. The first book ends on a massive cliffhanger with everybody dead, dying, or in jeopardy. And you just I need more. I need it now. On October 4th, The Wall of Storms by Ken Liu is coming out from Saga Press. This is the second book in the Dandelion dynasty, which started with The Grace of Kings, published last year. I wasn't the hugest fan of The Grace of Kings because when I went into it, I wasn't prepared for the way it was going to be written. It's a very different type of story, different type of fantasy story, which reads more like a history textbook, very high level rather than tight up close on a couple of individuals and how they're feeling all the time. But I'm really interested to read The Wall of Storms because now that I know what the series is supposed to be like, I think I'm going to enjoy it a lot more, and I really like Ken Liu as a person. I have read a lot of works that he has translated. He does a lot of translation from Chinese, and that's fantastic. But I would like to read more of his fiction. There are 2 books coming out on October 11th that I am very excited for. The first one I can't say much about because I just don't know that much about it and I don't want to ruin myself for it, and that is Goldenhand by Garth Nix, which is going to be a book in the Abhorsen or Old Kingdom series, which I love. They're my favorite books by Garth Nix. I think they are some of his best work ever. I wasn't really impressed by Clariel when it came out, what, 2 years ago, but this book, this is what sold me on this book right away. It's about Lyriel. He's bringing back Lyriel and Nicholas Sayer, which is all the excuse I need to go out and start rereading the Abhorsen books like right now. Like, I need to do that right now. I need to get back up to speed so I know where the story starts. The other book coming out on October 11th that I cannot wait for is Words Are My Matter by Ursula K. Le Guin. This is coming out from Small Bear Press, and it's a collection of her talks, essays, introductions, and various things she's written from 2000 to 2015. Right now, I am really interested in Le Guin's more critical works, things like her essays and talks where she's talking about her work or the genres that she works in. I just really enjoy her thoughts on those. She is such an intelligent and thoughtful woman who has had a multiple decades long experience in fantasy and science fiction that I love her. I love everything she does. I'm hoping there aren't too many repeats in this collection because I have read some of her other critical work from other collections, but even if they're repeats, I know I will enjoy rereading them. On October 20th, one of the most anticipated books for everyone in BookTube SFF probably is A Closed and Common Orbit by Becky Chambers. This is the standalone sequel to The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, which was pretty much the common book across everybody's best of lists of 2015. It was on my list too. That book was amazing and heart-touching and funny and just perfect. Perfect, guys. And A Closed and Common Orbit is set in the same universe. It follows Lovelace, who is the AI from the ship The Wayfarer in the first book, and her adventures now. There's at least one sample chapter up on the internet which I have read, and it got me very excited. I really liked the character of Lovelace, and I think that this book is going to be really great. Goodreads tells me that these next two books are coming out on November 1st, so I hope that information is correct. The first one is After Atlas by Emma Newman, which I think many people are anticipating because it is set in the same universe as her science fiction novel from 2015 called Planetfall. That was one of my favorite books of 2015, and I will just read anything that Emma Newman writes now because I love that book so much. After Atlas is not a sequel, it's a standalone novel just in the same universe. It is set on Earth 40 years after the people left Earth to go to the planet where they are in Planetfall, and I guess it follows a detective who is investigating the murder of a powerful person on Earth, and I don't want to know much more about it than that. I kind of want to just go into this one blind. I'm sure I'll hear about it a lot more as soon as November comes close, but this is one of those books that I will die inside a little bit if I can't get an arc because I need to have this in my life now. I might be kind of dramatic right now, but I'm really hot and it's stuffy in here and I just want to drink tea all day. I'm a little bit cranky. The other book coming out in November is Babylon's Ashes by James S.A. Corey, which is the pen name for Daniel Abraham and Ty Frank. I hope I got their names right. This is a space opera series. It's the 6th in The Expanse, and I just recently caught up on the 4th and 5th books, so I am ready for this, and I'm way more excited for this release than I was at the beginning of the year. I think the publication date of this one moved. I believe it was supposed to come out in June, and then it was delayed until November, but I'm hoping it will be fantastic because Nemesis Games, the 5th book, really improved my overall rating of this series. I also really enjoy the television show, but the books are coming out more quickly than the TV series, so gotta get my fix somewhere. 2 more books to go. On December 6th, Seven Surrenders by Ada Palmer comes out. This is the 2nd book in the Terra Ignota series, and I have raved multiple times at this point about the first book, Too Like the Lightning. The series is just really smart, savvy, philosophical, metaphysical science fiction. It's set in the 25th century, but it reads like an Enlightenment philosophical memoir novel or something. It's awesome. And the first book kind of just ends, not exactly a cliffhanger, it's just like one book chopped into 2, and it's just like, come on. I'm so glad that the 2nd book is coming out in the same year as the first book because I don't think I can wait that long. This series is narrated by Mycroft Canner, a criminal in a utopian world where their system of government is being threatened and everything may just topple. And the final book that I am anticipating right now is 6 Wakes by Mur Lafferty. This has an expected publication date of December 20th, coming out from Orbit. I'm hoping that this is a solid date, but I'm not exactly sure. I've really enjoyed things by Mur Lafferty in the past. I read her Supernatural series, which begins with The Shambling Guide to New York City. The second book is Ghost Train to New Orleans. They were very fun books. They were about vampires and zombies and the publishing world and a woman who stumbles into that. They were just light, fun reads. But this is a science fiction book, and it's about a group of people who wake up in cloned bodies on a spaceship and have to discover who killed their original selves. And that's a twist on that trope or that repeated plot element of people waking up on a ship with no memory and having to figure out what happened. I can be a little bit picky about this type of plot. I'm hoping that I'll really like it. I expect I probably will. Those are 12 more of the books that I'm anticipating in 2016. If you are also interested in any of these books or you have any that you think I have missed, please comment down below. I would love to hear from you, and I will talk to you again in another video soon. And until then, bye.